my realm.
So this is Tablestory's rendition of the Wizards of the Coast most recent module that was released like a week ago, maybe a little more. I can't remember. I don't work for them. Storm King's Thunder, and it is set in the Forgotten Realms, which is the standard world that Wizards created. Don't freak out if you don't know anything about it or you can't follow what's going on. Most of us don't either. I think probably T-Rex is the foremost expert here on... you're the longest playing member, I think.
Immediately under the bus if things go wrong. Got it.
Yeah. We're gonna throw you in and be like,
you're our librarian.
We can blame you.
Save us.
That scapegoat,
What's that town 250 miles to the north? Go.
Strawberry plant.
Yeah,
correct.
Illinois.
200
Illinois.
Illinois.
So this story is going to be a fresh party. You're going to be all level 1, and we're going to be following them as they investigate some mysterious goings on. So in terms of what you'll see, soon enough you'll have maps and things like that for the record players. These maps are here to give you an idea of measurement and scale. You have to sort of still imagine that you're down on the ground, immersed on in the landscape and stuff like that. There'll be like a 2D depiction of a house, but it's actually a fully thatched roof with like glass windows and flower pots and herbs and things hanging out. So essentially you use your imagination to play the game. That's what D&D is. Anybody who doesn't know, we're all going to be using our imaginations to have fun and rolling some dice, a bit like a combination of a board game and dreaming while awake. I try and make it different every time I explain what D&D is.
Beautiful.
So no one can pin me down.
Nice.
So,
Do you want to explain the rolls in Roll20 really quick, the 2 numbers, so the people don't get confused? Just so we can have this on video for the first session.
So on the screen, there are 2 numbers. Is there two numbers?
Yep,
Yeah. 4 and a 12? Sure. So essentially when somebody rolls a dice, let's get Austin Marie to roll us a dexterity check. Just anything that says dexterity on it, click it on your character sheet. So everybody's playing a character. They've got certain skills. It's all based around numbers. They have different skills in different things, different numbers, and different chances to successfully beat other numbers. This is about the best way I can describe that, because I suddenly realized the amount of depth this game has.
You got it. Basically,
the numbers on the screen, you're looking at a 5 and a 16. There is 2 because essentially Austin's just rolled a dice. Imagine that you've just picked up a little dice that looks something like this and rolled it. Austin just rolled a 5.
and that one. First that one of the day.
Yeah, natural 1. First
number
roll.
1.
That should be, she's now dead. No. The 2 numbers that you see are whether you have advantage or disadvantage. Let's say that I gave you advantage, you'd be able to use the higher of the 2. If you have disadvantage, you'll have the lower of the 2. But generally, everyone in chat, just watch the number on the left. If I say advantage or disadvantage, then you can look at the others. But mostly we'll just be looking at the left-hand column of numbers. Ignore the rest. If anyone says it in chat, you'll be banned from Twitch forever.
I heard you explode in real life too.
Literally forever.
Yeah,
actually true.
You will die.
You'll spontaneously combust and turn into actual D20s.
Yeah. So the
take us
let
in.
me give everyone an idea of what has been going on in the entire world. So starting officially now, how does that sound to you guys, everyone? So Storm King's Thunder. That's a little bit of background.
Oh yeah, there we go. I'm getting into it.
Get you guys into the world a little bit.
Oh yes.
All music provided by Peachy Pixelate. Thanks very much, my best friend. Evil dragons were recently stirred into action by their dark queen, a dragon called Tiamat, and they threatened the settlements of the north of Faerun, which is essentially the world, or the portion of the world that you'll be dealing with, for quite a while. Ultimately, however, they were defeated and forced to withdraw to their lairs, and while Tiamat was banished to the 9 hells, the giants who have been at war with the dragons have started to sort of creep out and cause chaos. And this isn't like something new or strange necessarily. Like, the people of the north are no strangers to giant incursions. Frost giants have lived along the spine of the world, which is the very north. Hill giants are known to scrounge for food in the untamed hills, but now, in the past couple of months, giants of every kind have emerged from their strongholds to force and threaten civilization as never before. And not just frost giants and hill giants, but stone giants, fire giants, cloud giants. All of the giants are in an uproar. There's reports of giant attacks throughout the north, all the way from Luskan to Neverwinter to Waterdeep. And people, the smaller people, humans, dwarves, elves, and the small folk, are concerned that the giants are beginning to wage war against them, the small folk. The group. Let me give you a little map. I don't know how you're catching this, Joe, but I'll give you
it. It works good.
So you are a group which have been heading to Nightstone, which is a very small fortified settlement located a few miles south of the Ardeep Forest. It's between Waterdeep, which is an enormous, great big city. You don't need to worry yourself about too much right now. And Daggerford, a smaller one. And there are elves that live in this forest. That's about all that generally goes on here. After following the trail for 10 miles, you hear the ringing of a bell, and the sound grows louder and louder as Nightstone comes into view. Let me give you this ridiculous map.
I can't see. Oh, there we go. Oh
do you
god,
wanna
it
zoom in?
takes so long to load in.
Oh, it's big.
Yeah, it's big.
That's what she said.
Wow.
Wow.
So-
At least we got it out of the way.
Yeah.
There's,
Coming from a dwarf.
you get
Oh, yeah.
inspiration. That's an inspiration
like 2 of
point.
you,
You're
right?
welcome.
That's an inspiration.
Any
I'll
poor
take it.
company gets immediate
Was
inspiration.
that like a collaborative there? Because we all made the joke.
Yeah, no, you get what's known as an ultra inspiration point,
Oh, damn.
which
Just a
means you
really
get an
big
immediate
dice.
crit on any roll you want, whenever you want for the entire game. Nightstone. There's a river which flows around the settlement and it forms a moat. The village itself is contained within a wooden palisade wall, beyond which you see a windmill. There's a tall steeple, and there are some high-pitched roofs, several other buildings, but it's pretty hard to make out because it is nighttime. Dusk fell about an hour ago for you guys as you approached Nightstone. The trail begins to end a little ways ahead of where you are. And before we go any further, let's take a little look at who we see trudging up this path here. So essentially the group are a newly formed adventuring group that have known each other no longer than a week as you traveled from Daggerford, where you heard of Nightstone and the fact that apparently there are some goblins that are running amok, and you thought, hey, that sounds nice and easy. Let's pop up to Nightstone, wipe out these goblins, and then the woman which is running the town will surely pay us some money. So before, again, as we see these people heading up, let's start with the smallest at the head of the column here. We see a very small gnome. Who do we see in Gideon Thel?
He's is he really the shortest? Are you taller than me, Gamil?
Elon.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. The short stock of the group, Gideon Thel, is a gnome paladin. with long white hair strands down his face, an eye patch over his right eye, and he wears a knight squire's armor with a couple of pieces of plate held together with thick tar that you would use to repair a boat. Always has the look of disinterest on his face and not interested in conversation, but has come together with this group and brought his 50-pound anchor along with him to kill some goblins.
As in a ship's anchor?
A ship's anchor, yeah. Yeah,
So
a
you've got
pirate ship's anchor. No, it's a big boy.
With a huge anchor.
I'll show it on the screen for the viewers. It's a big boy. It'd be a good idea, actually, to show them all.
You feel free to do whatever you want to do. I do have
Thanks,
some
Dad.
handouts to give you, but they aren't in there.
No worries.
Okay, so trudging a little further behind our tiny little gnome with a giant anchor. Do you have that over like a shoulder, or are you just dragging
it's
that?
like over the right shoulder with the right hand. I carry and hold it with one hand and then swing with both. So it's easier just to rest on one shoulder.
Pretty strong for a gnome.
Hey man,
Just on one side, though.
just the one side, or I'll just drag it.
We know what he's been doing.
The left arm is just like shriveled and like it's like as thick as a pen. the right one's just like massive.
So in stark contrast, the gnome, I think probably the tallest of the group, we see Boulder. Who do we see in Boulder, please?
Boulder is this, still in the regard to Dragonborn, young but large, 6'7", 305-pound, green scale Dragonborn. Grew up as a gladiator, never knew his family or parents, and was raised by those who ran the gladiatorial pits. Has been more or less wandering around trying to find his next big challenge. He got his name, Boulder, from the fighting pits because he was insurmountable. He was immovable. And I'll be playing a fighter as well, with a nice long sword and shield. But I can sometimes put away the shields, bring out the long sword for extra damage. But honestly, I've joined this little adventuring group, hopefully to find a better fight, because I have yet to lose.
Out of curiosity, do you know anything about this campaign whatsoever?
I do not.
Because Boulder is a great name, and you'll find out soon enough. Okay, so we have this dragonborn, well-armored, gladiatorial-looking, the largest of the group, and then a little less large, we have a tiefling following behind. Who do we see in Savari?
Savari, or Savari the Great, as she likes to call herself, is a traveling bard, basically a type of miscreant. She tends to thieve a little bit to get by. She lives with, new friends or special friends as she travels from here to there, playing music and really delving into all the various pleasures that she enjoys, drinking and fighting and yelling, and generally just thinking that the world completely revolves around her. She ran away from home in her early years because she couldn't handle it, and now her whole goal is to just be a rock star like she knows she is. And she just ended up with these group of adventurers because, to be honest, she was losing the place she was staying at because she wasn't paying her rent.
You skipped town before you had to pay rent.
Yep.
Our quest is to find Savari a copy of Guitar Hero 3.
Well, you've come to the right place, because as you look down, there is a copy, a PlayStation 3 copy. Nope, there isn't.
Thank God.
There it is.
Maybe we'll find a GameStop. Who knows?
I'm not playing Freebird.
Waterdeep, actually. So.
A tiefling stands just in front of slightly smaller, not quite gnomishly small, but slightly smaller figure in Gamil.
Gamel. I'm a mountain dwarf, hailing from the northern lands of the Mithril Halls. Although my story is one of traitorous betrayal and being kicked out of my old home. Don't ever underestimate a dwarf. And I know my English isn't that best, but I'm a dwarf. My intelligence isn't that high. I do have a great axe. And if you get on my bad side, I will cut off your head and use it as a football.
What's football?
Do they have football? They probably did.
Yeah,
I
they-
invented it, Lana.
It's D&D invented.
But is it
They do
football
now.
or football?
We play it outside the GameStop. It's fine.
It's football.
Hand egg or soccer? It's important to know the distinction.
Cool. So we have this armored dwarf heading along, played by a goddamn voice actor. So yeah, fuck you. None of us are going to be able to compare.
Yeah, what's up?
I'm gonna try.
We're going to damn well try. So
That means don't talk. Got it.
the yeah, the first thing that's going to happen is I'm going to tear out your tongue by something.
Nice.
The group, this newly formed group, are now heading up to Nightstone, and again, there's this bell ringing. It's just tolling and tolling and tolling as you approach. It's quite dark. Let's see. Boulder doesn't have dark vision, right? I think so, because you're a
That's a
dragon.
conversation for later, but he might have Dragonborn sights. I'm unsure.
I thought Dragonborn had dark vision.
I don't think they
Yeah.
do.
Really?
I'm like,
That's
I'm
crazy. I thought everybody but like humans had dark vision.
I have dark
Lives.
vision.
They
Yeah.
don't live underground. You're a demon. He lives underground. He's a gnome. He lives underground. I don't think it. I don't know.
Do I have dark vision? Oh, I do. Yeah.
You're a rock gnome.
Thank God.
So I'll double check. But if you don't have dark vision, Boulder, you'll probably have a torch lighting your way as you head up this pathway. Again, you've heard rumors of goblins terrorizing the settlement, and that there is a woman here known as Lady Velrosa Nandar, who is the High Steward of Nightstone, and she's supposedly offering a reward to anyone willing to deal with the goblin threat. So that's generally why you're here, and I'm just going to let you guys dive in as you head up this pathway. This direction is the way that you were heading.
I thought you said die then, not dive in. I was like, oh, short campaign, okay. Just walking
Insane.
down the road and scene.
You're just approaching a settlement, and all there is the sound of a bell tolling.
Just
It's
a bell.
eerily quiet. Other than that, though night has fallen, it's not that late. It's probably like 9 p.m.
So we're kind of like, are we like looking up at the city? Or are we walking alongside it, kind of type deal? Because you said it was in a moat, right? So are we walking alongside it?
The city is here.
Okay.
to-
Can we
to-
see the lights and all that from the city, or is it completely dark?
Give me a perception check with your dim vision,
Okay.
because that far away it would be dim vision. Yeah, there's surprisingly no real light coming from the city,
Okay.
which seems a little odd.
I say we head forward and find out whoever's ringing that bell, because clearly they need a better performer.
Yeah. I'm just gonna turn to all of them and just kind of grunt and heft the anchor and keep walking forward. Is there a limit as to how far we can walk on this map? Or can we just go anywhere?
You can head forward. Like, as generally, the rule that I play is like move 5 or 6 like squares, unless I sort of come down on you about it.
I got you.
But like let everyone else catch up and move around, and then inquire a little further. But yeah, you can essentially follow this path all the way to the end.
Okay. Yeah, I say we just head up the path, and unless anyone else has any other ideas,
Agreed.
but Gideon, I just kind of grunt to all of them and just carry on forward. Still leading the pack, kind of type deal.
Cool. Yeah, and you head up the dirt path towards a drawbridge, which is lowered. It's about 20 feet long, 10 feet wide, and it's got sort of iron chains which are bolted to a drawbridge, and they connect to like winch mechanisms in these 2 watchtowers, which kind of act like a gatehouse beyond the bridge there.
Is there anyone in the watchtowers at all? Can we see
me-
anybody?
Give me that perception check.
While he does that, can I check under the bridge as well?
Sure.
Like just
yeah,
kind of
give
like
me,
peek out over the side.
Give me a perception check too.
Cool.
What are you looking for there?
I'm-
Whoever C. Cronus is.
Are you talking to me or Cronus?
Cronus has rolled a perception check. Are you looking for anything in particular?
I fixed it. Don't worry. Just keep going on.
I'm just looking if there's anybody under the bridge, anything hanging off, or anything suspicious.
Boulder, you don't see anyone in the watchtowers, but it's quite hard to see anything because you're sort of on the wrong side. There isn't really any like nice big windows or anything like that. Should they need to draw the thing up, there isn't like a huge window for them to be like waving out of. It's nothing more than a single like slit for people to fire arrows out of. Let me see what you get. 13. And JW is looking up at the.
Alright, guys. Hard to get in character.
Don't worry. Everything is getting stronger with every small, tiny mistake you make, because I'm just that much of a horrible DM. Yeah. No, you look under the bridge, and are you looking for anything in particular? Or you just seeing if there's anything weird?
I'm specifically looking like if there's an ambush or a trap on it, but just kind of not like really investigating, just kind of glancing underwards and continuing walking.
Yeah, it seems pretty kosher to you.
Cool. I guess I'll take us into the keep then. I'll just walk across the bridge.
Feel free to head in. Again, you head
I
over
wonder-
this.
I'm just
Is there any loot around here?
hope so.
This bell tolling is
It's probably
exceptionally
amazing.
loud now,
Yeah.
and it's coming from this building here.
Okay.
It's pretty much taking up your entire thought process as you head in. It's just dong, 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 just constantly ringing out, and the darkness and the eerie silence of the rest of the town makes it even more maddening to listen to.
Oh, so the whole town is like dead silent then? Nothing at all.
Weirdly quiet, weirdly
Okay.
dark, as in there's no torchlight or anything like that. As you push in a little further, though, you probably will have noticed that there are these giant stones.
Yeah.
You could call them boulders. We'll call them rocks.
He's multiplied.
So there are these kind of rocks which are just embedded in the earth. They're what can you see here? Yeah, you can probably see that there's a couple that seem to have collapsed some of the rooftops around you. There's some like wreckage. There's even a couple of dead villagers trapped under the ones which are in this farm here, completely dead. They're completely crushed. They're roughly 3 to 5 feet in diameter, and they look like they weigh a hell of a lot, and that they've been dropped from above.
Oh, so we can all tell
it
looks like they're just
Well, it doesn't look like they've rolled in.
yeah.
'cause
There's no
it's just
impact
these
of it. Okay.
specific
Impacts.
rocks, which are just embedded partially in the ground, and they've sort of shattered a lot of the roofs, and they've crushed a couple of villages and various bits of wreckage.
Are there any distinct smells or anything like that that's emanating from the town, like rotted flesh, aside from the obvious occasional blood spillage?
Give me a perception check.
All right.
Lots of perception checks. Boulder forgot that he's got something on the tip of his nose from the last meal that you guys ate on your way up. He's still got a tiny little bit of a sauce.
I wasn't gonna tell him.
So
I thought he was doing it on purpose.
You actually think this place smells pretty good, Boulder. It kind of smells like barbecue sauce.
All right.
Can I look in the window of this room that it has the ringing bell? It
I'm
just
gonna
needs to stop.
notion to Camille and should probably go in.
Aye, lad, but I'm thinking. Hear me out now.
Mm.
You know that one house with the boulder on the roof?
Mm.
If we go in there, there may be a couple of loot and a fair bit of loot.
For me.
If they're dead,
For
why
me.
do they care?
Not for me,
I
but I'll go in.
Let's do it.
Huh? All right. Wait, is this a house or is this a farm?
You're looking down here.
Yeah,
at this
down
place.
here. This is a farm, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Be
Up
a
here's the
little
house.
bit more cautious with your moving around with the tokens, just so I can keep.
Yeah.
watch.
No worries.
So you're heading towards the farm.
I'm gonna go into the house. That's what
Into
I was
the house.
speaking of. Yeah. So is the door closed or anything?
Point to me which house you're looking at.
The house directly above us, right here.
This
The
one.
north.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is where the ringing bell is coming from,
Sorry.
and it's more like a wooden sort of temple.
Oh.
Which give me a religion check as you sort of round this thing.
Well, I'd be
Mm,
the
as well.
perfect man for it, eh?
Yeah, you probably are as a
Not that well. Never mind.
paladin. So it's got a sort of slender steeple, and it's got this at the very, very top. You see the large bronze bell, just dinging and dinging and dinging. You can probably barely make it out with your dark vision.
Yeah.
There are stained glass windows, which Savari was kind of heading towards, and they depict all sorts of images of birth, adorning sun, trees, and unicorns. What did you roll there? A 16. Yeah, you'll recognize this to be a small temple dedicated to Lathander, the god of dawn, and Miliki, the goddess of forests. Let me here. So, Savari, did you want to quickly look in one of the windows?
Yes, I do.
Go for it.
Okay. Are they on the side here? Can I
Yeah,
just
give me a perception check as you kind of go up towards one of these stained glass windows. It's quite hard to see through because they're like colored glass, but you peer in, and the temple inside looks relatively untouched in terms of there's no like great big boulder which has rolled in through one of the walls or anything like that. There are lots of wooden benches or pews, but it's mostly empty in there. Though there is a little bit of destruction. There's a couple of like vases which have been smashed, but nothing's going on in there. There's nothing that, as you look in, like there's no people in there. There's no creatures in there or anything like that. Gamil, give me a perception check, please.
We
Well,
kick
you
ass.
hear as you start approaching this thing, the bell, doom, doom, doom.
God,
in
Lord,
between-
Lord.
In between two of the dings, you suddenly hear a coming from this direction, and then the ding, ding drowns it out again. But you just catch it on the wind.
Anyone else hear that?
Did I hear
Oh,
that?
sorry, what? The bell? The bell, yeah.
Yeah,
we
just-
can all hear the bell.
All I
Oh.
hear is-
No,
We can all hear the bell.
not the bell, not the bell.
It's giving me a
God,
headache.
I think everyone in the world can hear that.
Oh.
It's not
There
a
was
good
a
tune.
voice. I swear it said get out or run or just didn't sound normal.
Sure it wasn't Savari.
I mean, look, I'm great, but I'm not like I'd make you know. You'd know if I was doing something.
You're like talking into the window. Hello, temple. I'm great. Actually, did you tell us what was in the temple or not, or?
I haven't. There's nothing in
Okay.
here, so it's not coming from in here.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
this is just like a church.
No,
Yeah,
it came to the
something.
right of me.
I think we better stop that bell if we want to hear what's going on.
Yeah. Camille, you go find the noise. I'll go in and.
I'm pretty
Shut
sure
the
if it's a
fucking
bell,
bell
the
off.
tall one should be the one to take it down.
All right.
I don't know if you
you
can
can
raise-
lift me on your shoulder.
I mean,
That
I could
would-
probably poke it with my great axe, but that'll make it worse.
I'll just.
Can we
try
throw the little one up there and he can just punch it?
Yeah. Let's make fun of the short one. All right. Okay.
Can we chuck Anchor Boy up there?
I'm
that would
just
Oh,
gonna,
you
like,
guys are
heft the
talking. I will
anchor.
go and take care of
Just walk
business.
in. All right. I don't even see him. I'm just arguing right now.
Call
me short one more time.
So I enter and search for the source of the bell, which I'm assuming is on a second floor of some sort.
The entrance is actually here.
Over there. Oh, well, that would
So
be...
you can give me a strength check to just try and bust down the wooden wall if you want. Or you
I am that annoyed from the bell. I wish to take care of this as quickly as possible.
yeah.
Do I have advantage since nothing's going on?
No.
Ah.
Because the bell is driving you insane. You how do you try and take this wall down? It's only a
I
wooden wall.
brace my foot against it, my strong foot, and just push.
You actually like there's a moment where everyone kind of holds their breath, and it kind of looks like the wall almost like gives a little way, but it's not enough. This is a fairly big-ish structure for even a super strong gladiatorial dragonborn to take down, and you do not successfully kick the wall down of the temple.
I embarrassedly walk towards the front.
Yeah.
I want to join him just
gonna
to look in the church and see if there's any collection plates that they forgot. You know.
All right.
things like that.
As Boulder and Savari, you start heading around the corner. I'm going to need everyone to roll me initiative from that position where you are right now. Please.
I had a feeling.
I had a feeling.
How's the battle music starts?
Growl.
That
Sorry.
negative
Don't
one on
get-
the initiative.
It's
actually
hard
just
to roll
roll
from
whole.
such a low spot.
Could you have a -1 to Dex or a minus something?
Yeah, it's -1 to Dex. I have
Oh my
9
God.
Dex. I'm carrying a fucking anchor. I'm not agile at all.
Okay.
How is that? That sounds like a you problem.
I can carry it just fine.
You can't see them yet.
I mean, I just wouldn't do it. It's not very fashionable.
But as Boulder and Savari sort of round the corner, there's suddenly a scrabbling noise, and then 2 loud growls that you hear just between the bell dinging. Ding, 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 ding.
Do I hear this growling?
Yeah, everyone hears it.
We all hear it now?
I told you there was something here.
Okay.
Someone left their dogs out. Are they dogs or are they like wolves?
They're big dogs.
You don't know yet.
Oh, we
because you-
can't. Okay, so we can't see. Gotcha.
But if you give me a sec. So for the record, every single person here, this is the first time I've used a lot of this stuff on Roll20. I've used Roll20 a long time, but I've never used a module that was created by wizards for
Four
Roll20.
wizards.
Yeah, by wizards for. So I'm
wizard
pretty new.
things.
Freeze. So you actually react first. You don't because of Gideon. Camille. As you, everyone hears this growling, and then suddenly there's a commotion coming from the same direction that you heard the growl previously. How would you like to react? There's definitely some sort of wild animal here, basically.
Can I pull both Boulder and I can't say your name. Oh,
Savari?
Savari, that's the one. Can I pull them away?
They're sort of out of reach now. I mean, they're like 10 feet away.
Can I run and just like dive on Boulder then and kind of get him to the ground?
Why him?
Yeah, if that's what you want to
You're
do.
small. He's a dragon.
Protect him.
He's too tall.
If you just want to attack Boulder, then yeah, you have to
It's
give
not an
me.
attack. It's a tradition, like a strategic. Get down, lad.
You're gonna grapple him to the ground, basically. So yeah, give me an athletics check, and Boulder, if you're just gonna let him do it, if like he jumps on you and he's shouting get down, do you go down or do you try and kind of shove him off?
I would shove him off.
All right, give me an athletics check as well.
Remember we talked about football?
We're making it. At the end of this campaign, you will have invented it.
Touchdown.
So Gamil comes running in towards Boulder with the intention of sort of getting him to the ground with like a gadon, jumping onto his back and like pushing him. Suddenly you realize that Boulder's insanely strong. He's also taller than you, so for you to get that kind of angle on him, you jump up and you grab onto him. Boulder, you are pushed a moment, but just one arm, shrug him off, and then
I was gonna say, am I just on his back now? Can I just like charge into battle with him?
We are the ultimate battle being now.
Let's do it.
if you want to leave him on your back, I'll allow it.
No.
All right, no, you get shoved.
We're doing mounted fighting in episode 1.
You're shoved off and you're on the ground. That was your entire action, but you do have bonus action, etc. like that. What do you want to do? What do you want to do?
I'm just gonna lay on the ground like that didn't work.
Okay.
That didn't work.
You're not technically laying down. You didn't jump up high enough. You've got little dwarven legs.
It's too heavy.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you just kind of grab my leg like a toddler, being like,
Don't go, don't go.
That's pretty much what happened to anyone watching from far away.
Looks like it thinks
Savari the Great. Suddenly Gamil comes running in and shouts, "Get down!" Tries to wrestle Boulder to the ground, and he's sort of looking over one way. for the record, you all definitely hear this growling and this scrabbling noise.
Yeah.
It sounds like something's like gearing up to run at you from the left of your tokens. From
Okay, so we do know where it's coming from then.
Okay.
definitely heard it. Yeah.
Okay.
I want to move behind these idiots who are tackling and rolling around on the ground because they're a lot stronger than me and they don't have the face to protect. So I want to move behind them. But I would also like to possibly cast a mage hand, if I can do that.
Sure.
Can I send one of those out in the direction and see if it gets anything?
Yeah, I mean, you can't really see through a mage hand necessarily, but you can kind of send it out 30 feet. So you have to kind of, first of all, you need to position yourself where you want to go. And as you start moving, you can send a mage hand out, but it will only go this far, and you can see at least that far.
Oh, then that's not worth
further
it.
than you can send
I'm
it.
definitely just going to move behind them. I think that's just my...
A useful thing for you is this amazing website which has gone down at the moment. But what you can do, I'm just checking that it's still down. There's an amazing website for casting, especially if you're quite new to the game. No. What you can do though is on Roll20 at the very top right hand corner, there's that eye with the information eye and the circle up along where the settings is. You can go into that and you can type in mage hand or whatever your spell is, and it will come up with the definition, and it's a lot easier than clicking that cog to drop down and stuff like that.
For now, I'm moving behind them because I don't feel very safe right now, and I'm not going to run into that direction.
Well, so Austin Marie is the newest to D&D. I'm not being patronizing for the record chat when I'm like, Austin, you can do this thing.
I have never played before.
I'm just coaching a new player, so please don't attack me for being like, you treat her like she's dumb, but you don't do it to the guy.
You'll get the angry tweets later. Just
yeah, I know, but it's gonna look sexist.
One will be
God, it's not.
I guarantee you. I'm upset.
Blanket statement. I need to be. It's Babby's first D&D.
Yeah. So
I need my handheld.
what you can do if you'd like is move to your position and you can ready an action, which basically means you can set an action that would go off on a certain trigger, which would be, for example, you could jump behind these guys, pull out a bow, an arrow, and say, okay, I'm going to ready an arrow to fire off if I see something come running out of the darkness towards us. You could do that with a spell. You can do that with any kind of action. You can kind of hold the action until something happens if you want. Does that make sense?
Yes. Okay, so then I would like to jump behind these idiots
who
are just rolling around on the ground and just standing there, and I would like to ready my short sword.
All right, move your token wherever you want to go, and you can ready your short sword, presumably to attack anything that gets close to you.
Yes.
Okay. Boulder, you've just shrugged off a dwarf. What would you like to do?
I have. So if they're coming from the east, I will square myself forward a tad, and then if I don't see anything, I wish to ready myself with my shield and my longsword and just kind of square myself off in that direction, waiting for whatever is coming at us.
Did we work out if Dragonborn have night vision?
Someone in chat who was saying they play 5e says they don't. So I
Thank you, chat.
God, I was really concerned that I was getting rusty because I haven't DM'd for like less than a week. And
I thought I had Dragon.
I haven't DM'd for like 15 minutes now.
I didn't know if it carried.
No, I forget everything. Don't worry. If you want to be like, yo, I have dark vision, I fucking know it. Then don't assume I know anything. I'm an idiot. Yeah. So you can't really see into the darkness too well, and you want to ready an action?
Yes. I will just ready my shield and my longsword, waiting for whatever is coming from the east.
As in, you'd like to attack it if it comes in?
Yes.
Okay. In that case,
my area of effect, I'm ready for it.
yeah. Then what happens is something comes running in. There is a wolf-like creature that comes running forward. The token displays a thing on its back. There is nothing on its back. It's let me see if there is a
Big boy.
handout. Sometimes there are
Massive.
Yeah.
Made a
Yeah,
mistake.
there is. Here we
Made a
go.
mistake.
Mistakes were made.
It's the
I told you to
creature.
get down.
The creature without the thing on its back, but it's kind of like an oversized wolf, but it looks horrific. the skin on its face is hairless as it comes running in. It's got kind of like flesh around its mouth as if it's already eaten something today, which was filled with blood, as bits of blood and spittle launch from his jowls as it comes running in. And indeed, it runs straight at you, Boulder. You are now free to let off your attack as it comes within range.
Gonna one-shot it.
Yeah, here we go.
Here it comes. The nat 20.
Well,
It's a hit. Yeah, it's a good strike.
Yeah.
Can he kill it in one? No, but he can fucking hurt it.
and how large
You,
is this compared to me? Like,
Looks
It's
pretty
bigger than
fucking big.
Yeah. It's, if you've seen if you've seen those kind of the Hobbit movies that came out sort of
Lord of the
recently, there were the orcs that were on the back of those fucking horrible giant great dog wolf
understood. Pretty big.
things. Yeah, it's like a big
Like
thing.
a super bear.
You could probably ride on the back of it yourself. But yeah, it's almost horse-sized in what it is.
Persuasion.
However,
check.
it comes
Open
running
your
in
mouth.
and it bares its mouth. It comes in, tries to bite at you, Boulder. However, Boulder is ready, down with this stance, gladiatorial. In goes the sword. The thing dives to one side and doesn't die, but you do slice it up a tree. I don't know why my roll 20 is not working for me. Come on, roll 20. Not like this. Not today.
Like this.
Not like this. There we go. Yeah, bear with me. I don't know what I'm doing yet on roll 20. 2 weeks. Give me 2
Guys,
weeks.
We don't want to be patronizing here, but Brad is our resident new GM. So we're not
I'm
being
not.
sexist.
I'm not really
we're just...
a noob DM. I've never used. I never use tokens. I normally have a pad and I write everything down. So this has all of the stats and life and things. You can't see it.
Brad, I'll hold your hand.
All right, thank you, Austin.
You got this. You can
You
do it.
slice a sword down this thing's flank as it attempts to avoid you, and you open up a wound on it. It doesn't howl, but it does let out a terrible deep growl, which probably frightens you there, Boulder. However, it's going to attempt to bite at you as it comes running in. What is your AC, please?
My AC is 18.
18. I'm afraid this thing's going to bite you. So as you extend your arm out, and this thing just about avoids having its eyes gouged out by your longsword, it exposes you, and it bites into one side of your body there, dealing a heavy 12 piercing damage to you. These are nasty. They're massive and they're nasty.
Yeah, they are.
So on your character sheet, reduce your current HP by 12. And then 12.
It's level 1!
Jesus
Christ.
man.
It's the only level.
Another comes in.
Oh,
Running
fuck.
forward, it's Packmate. This one a little smaller than the other one, but no less intimidating, comes running in, and this one's going to attempt to bite you as well. And it does so. You, flinching, drawing yourself back, trying to raise your shield up against the first one as it bites into your side, fail to see this one come in. Bites into your other side for dealing another 9 piercing damage to you. You still up?
I'm not up. No, absolutely not.
All right, we have a KO as Boulder is down. You're not out. You're not dead, but you are hurt badly on the ground. Bringing us to Gideon. Now, Jay.
I fucking run! What's up? What do I see?
You see everything that you've just seen. So
Okay.
basically,
I
you
thought
see
you were-
Camille jump onto
Yeah.
Boulder's back. Boulder runs in. Savari readies the sword. However, at that exact point, these 2 enormous wolf-like creatures come running in, bite Boulder, and bite again. And you just see him fall backwards as these 2 things just dive on top of his limp body.
Okay. Sorry, you said Jay as if you wanted to say something. I didn't know if you... I'm gonna...
No.
I'm gonna
I'm
fucking...
just expecting you to save everyone here because you're a DM.
I got this. Yeah. I'm gonna go run up to the one that attacked Boulder, and I'm going to swing at it.
Which one?
Yeah, I'm just gonna try and like kind of stand in front of him, so that just in case one of them can do something, one of our members can do something, and just swing at the warg.
All right, go for it.
All right.
Give me that attack roll.
Don't fail me now! God! The first
He's
roll!
gonna me.
I thought you guys
Give
were
me,
adventurers.
Give me a strength saving throw to
Oh.
stop yourself from falling over.
Fuck's sakes.
This was a thing that I forgot to do for Boulder. Oh, and for the record, if I say something, if I don't do something, like this is supposed to make you do a strength save to stop you from falling over. If I don't do it and we move past it, it's done. It's in the past. It didn't happen, and we just move on, unless it's very, very, very important.
I'm gonna remind you, I DM already once a week.
Is that what you do too? Just move on, because some people like to go back, and I'm like, whoa, never. Yeah, Gideon comes
Can't
running
change
in.
the past.
He swings this enormous anchor, and the warg just kind of rears its head back as Gideon's anchor flies underneath it, and he spins himself in a circle, almost topples over, but steadies himself, digs the anchor into one side, and comes to a harsh stop. But you unfortunately missed the warg. Do you want to do anything else?
Yeah, I'm just gonna use my bonus action to go, Camille! It's just like, and that's it.
I hear you, Lord. I hear you.
All right, Gamil.
I'm gonna run in with Scar's Bane right down on this wolf thing, abomination on his head.
All right. Move your character. Which one are you trying to hit?
I'll take down the younger one.
All right, so you come running in with your own giant weapon here, Scar's Bane, the axe, swinging it at this thing, and it ducks and weaves as the axe shaves a couple of hairs off of its head. Unfortunately, you also fail to hit the thing. They're big, but that doesn't mean that they're slow.
As soon as the axe goes into the floor, they're like, fuck!
You're a barbarian, right? When do you get rage? Level 2?
I've already got it.
You've got it? Oh, okay. I just never, I don't know. Savari,
Can I cast 2 spells?
depends on what they are. You have
Animal
an
friendship
action-
and healing word.
Wait, what was the first one?
Animal friendship.
Yes. Which one? In which order do you want to do this?
I first, just so no one else gets hurt any further, I would like to try and cast animal friendship on the smaller warg. I want to
Okay.
be friends with it, and I want to make it stop
Right.
attacking.
Give me the animal friendship cast. I think it has like a save, right?
Is it under? Do I just click it on spells?
Yeah, so on your spells and attacks, you should have just animal friendship there. There we go. So, choose a beast. It must see or hear you. If the beast's intelligence is 4 or higher, which it isn't,
Oh crap!
the spell fails. Oh no, that's fine. It's the spell fails if the int is higher. Otherwise, it must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or be charmed by you. Okay, so what is your saving? What's this?
This works.
Great.
This works.
I'd be happy.
This is gonna have to be real. What is your spell save DC? Oh, yeah, it's the middle number at the very top of your spell side of your character sheet.
Okay, so it has to be over that for it to
Yeah,
work.
what is it? What is that
14.
number? 14. All right, here we go. The creature is going to attempt to not be charmed by you. It fails. It fails its whiz save, and it becomes charmed by
Yes!
you. So
Are you
as the
kidding me?
That's
as the thing has
fantastic.
Wow!
You did
the
it.
war gets a kind of haircut from Gamil, and then suddenly there's this. I don't know. What does Savari do to charm this thing? What do we see?
All right. Hey, little buddy, how you doing today? Don't kill my friends. It'll all be okay.
All right, so you charm the creature, and it kind of, for a moment, it stops, and it's just enraptured by this tiefling, which is singing a song. You have a lute, right? So
Perfect tune.
guitar, and it softens for a moment. It looks over towards you, Savari, and there's like a small kind of whine. Then it looks back to Gamil, and it's still pretty angry at Gamil, with a low growl from the belly. And then you would like to do a healing word, you said.
Yes, I want to heal Boulder.
Okay, cast. Yep, you can do that as a bonus action. So feel free to cast that one. Same way, click it.
All right.
Should do all
Cast
of
at what
the-
level? 1, obviously. Yes.
Yeah, I think you can't. You can only cast at level 1. Level 1. Cool. So how does the healing word look? This is going to heal you for 8, by the way.
I mean, it's just beauty, really. It's just lines of beauty coming towards him, and friendship and happiness. Which
The
normally
Elmo,
she doesn't.
the Elmo
yeah.
theme song. Just
It's mostly just this, and it just kind of floats through.
All right. Boulder, you come to. You still feel a fair amount of pain at your sides, but as this strange song, which is all you can hear before the bell tolling and the growling of the wolves comes into your ears, you you hear this wonderful tune sung by your tiefling friend there, Savari, as she heals you, and your wounds slowly close a little, and you wake up with 8 HP. You are on the ground. Technically, you're prone. This means that it takes half of your movement to stand back up, but you're probably not going to be going anywhere anyway. So what would you like to do on your turn?
I would like to stand up and finish what I started.
Do it.
All
Do an
right.
attack roll.
Well, of course. That sounds about right.
Oh,
fucking hate level 1.
The campaign was great, guys.
Wait,
Give me a
that one time I killed Gideon.
give me a strength saving throw. As you spin in a circle, the sword launches above this the larger of the warg's heads, and it cuts a few hairs off of this one's head too. It then spins directly above Gideon's head as well. Gideon, you kind of feel the rush of air. It comes spinning around towards Gamil as well. Gamil, you're also quite short, and it just skims off the top of your helmet there, just before Boulder falls over to the ground.
Ah,
He steadies himself, and he's able to stand up because he's very strong. I'm not going to make you all hit each other at level 1, don't worry.
I am worried, Brad. I am worried.
You should be, because these wargs are going to kill you now, as it comes in with an attempt to bite at Gideon. The
16.
larger of the two, all you see, Gideon, your tiny little gnomish face that's only got one eye in it, I think.
Yeah.
You've only got one eye that you can see through on because you've got an eye patch on. Why is that? I don't know why you don't have... I'm going to start giving you penalties to perception checks.
I just have you don't know if I can't see through that. It could be a really thin cloth.
You're wrong, Jay. I know everything.
It's a really good eye, man.
This huge set of jaws open up, and it comes in to attempt to bite at Gideon. What is your AC?
16.
Nice. Just as this thing closes its jaws in front of you, and you just barrel backwards, barely avoiding the enormous flesh-covered teeth of this thing. The other one, while absolutely best friends with Savari, the charm has absolutely no effect on...
oh no!
Oh.
Unfortunately, all it does is allow you to be friends with it, sort of thing.
Okay.
It's charmed by you, which essentially, I'll give you what the actual definition is so that you know, because you're
My
learning.
child now.
A charmed creature can't attack the charmer or target the charmer with harmful abilities or magical effects. The charmer has advantage on any ability check to interact socially with the creature. Okay, so try and it sounds confusing, doesn't it? But basically, you're best friends, all right?
Yep.
But Gamil isn't. So, Gamil, what is your AC?
11.
It's not enough. The same time, these two wide jaws open up and bury themselves into Gamil's thick dwarven leg. You still
Oh! This is
14
son of
piercing.
a-
Bad dog.
14.
I know.
Bad dog.
Are you still alive there? Are you...
Barely.
Barely. Give me a strength save, please.
Welcome to the club. It's a club, ouch.
Clubhouse.
I feel great.
Yeah, I bet.
I'm having a wonderful time with this thing.
The thing buries its teeth into your thigh, and then it just wrenches you off your feet. Whoom, you see Gamil kind of lifted up off of his feet for a moment as he slams his heavy armored body into the ground. Boom, and begins to sort of do that thing. It's huge, and it's going to do that thing that dogs do with tiny little dog toys, where it goes.
Whoa, no, stop that.
Yeah, it lifts you off your feet. You're now prone, Gamil, and it is Gideon's turn.
Oh man, give me 3 seconds here.
We don't have 3 seconds
I
left.
think give me 2.
I believe in you, Gideon.
Try not dying.
Oh my god, that's a terrible spell. Never mind. All right, I'm just gonna swing at it with the anchor, the one in front of me.
You have spells?
I do. I have lay on hands. It's fucking garbage though. At level 1, that's trash.
Finish it at level 1.
All right, I'm done.
Hey, that's a hit.
Yes.
Roll your damage.
Aw,
Damn,
Finish
I don't
him.
roll my fucking
finish
damage, Brad.
him.
So, do you want to first of all tell everyone how cool the anchor is and
The
what it does?
anchor is fucking badass. Oh, like actually mechanically? Okay, so for the viewers
Yeah,
at
'cause I think
home,
it's interesting for chat.
really
and stuff.
quick, just so you guys can sound like, that's not an actual weapon. It's a homebrew weapon, and I had to have spent a month on a pirate ship to be proficient with it, so to take away from the battle. I can forfeit my proficiency on attack rolls for double proficiency on damage rolls. That's why it's a 14 at level 1.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna. Is it a kill or no?
It's absolutely a
I'm
kill.
just
How would
gonna
you like
bring
to-
it like up overhead and just slam it down as hard as I can, right on the mains, so it crumples into the ground and on itself.
Yeah, and the anchor kind of just like pierces it. I know it's still bludgeoning, but it just pierces into the back of this thing's neck, and it just drives the head of this giant wolf-like creature to the ground, boom, crushing it. You see the life just knocked out of it before it even hits the ground, as its head is crushed and broken underneath the weight of this anchor. And then there's just this tiny little gnome with a giant anchor
Put
and
my foot on it.
a warg in front of him as the warg dies.
I'm gonna use my bonus action. Not actually, but look over Camille. Don't worry, I got this, Camille.
Thank the divine.
As he's
As
in
he's-
the teeth, just getting jostled around. Just
Yeah.
All right, then I'll end my turn. That's it.
I'm glad you done that one, but can you help with this one?
I'll be there in 3
you
seconds.
You can stand up, Camille, as the thing kind of finishes shaking you. It lets go, and you're left to stand up.
I'm prone, aren't I?
You are prone, yeah. So it takes half your movement to stand up, and it's rounded down. So I normally do with movement like the 5 feet rule rounded down. So you get 10 left. Is that right? Let me think. Yeah, 25 feet for a dwarf.
Can I try and get on the back of this thing?
No, of course you can.
Embed
Yeah.
my dagger into him. I have a small dagger.
Give me that.
That is Fluffy.
I don't care if he's fluffy or not.
It's his name. I love him.
spent 1 second with him. The same thing about
I
the
need an
squirrel
athletics
as
check
well.
first
He's
as you
my
try
son.
and
I thought it.
climb it. Yeah.
Are you climbing on top of it?
I'm getting on top.
That's fucking awesome.
Fortunately, as you
Yes.
sort of round one side of it, you try to jump up on it, and you've got this kind of wounded leg, and the thing just turns its head and bats you with its large head, keeping you from jumping up on it. You stumble backwards on your wounded thigh, and you are unable to jump up on its back. I'll let you strike with the dagger though from the side.
All right.
Do the
I just
damage.
Shank it into him.
Yeah.
Hey.
So as it bats you with its giant head, it comes away with a small wound in its side as you deal 5 piercing damage from a dagger. Who is next? Savari, your turn.
I want to know if I can call the warg to me and get it away from
me,
Gamel.
Give me a persuasion check. And what are you saying to it?
I'm just like, come here, boy. Come here. Who's the good boy? Who's the big floofy boofy?
Yeah. The warg starts moving towards you. It can't do so on its turn, but on its turn, it's going to ignore Gamil and start moving and heading over towards you. A tongue comes out of its giant, horrific face, and it's now just got eyes for Savari.
That's
It's a
disgusting.
good boy.
That's right. You better run.
It's a good boy.
Do you wanna
And
do
I
anything
I
else?
can't cast any more spells, correct? Because I've already used my 2.
You only have 2 spell slots. Is that what you have?
Yeah. So I can't do any more healing.
Correct. Yeah. So you need to take a long rest to be able to get them back.
Okay, so I'm just calling the dog over to me to get it away from everyone so you guys can recoup.
All right. So the warg starts to move around Gamil. Gamil, you're probably like over here because you kind of moved. Jump up on its back. Boulder, what do you want to do?
I would like to first position myself behind that warg.
Mm-hmm. Go for it.
So while it's distracted,
My son.
from behind, I decided to try to finish what Gamil started.
All
My
right.
son.
Go
Soul
on.
style.
My son.
That's a hit. You have advantage too.
Don't look, boy. Don't look, boy. It's okay.
And you just drive a longsword
Mommy's
into
here.
this thing's back, and it kind of stops looking over at Savari as you just drive a longsword into its back. It's not down or dead or anything, but it's now got a massive wound in its back side. Not like up its backside, but on its back side. And it's got a smaller wound on one side as it starts to bleed out now. However, let's see. I'm gonna make a wisdom save, and if the warg beats a 10, he's gonna turn on Boulder.
Well,
If it doesn't, it's gonna run for Savari for help.
oh no.
Oh god.
Oh
Oh
no.
god.
It really
You have to like
This is
comfort
some
him.
old yeller shit.
it looks at Savari, and Savari, you get the sense that this thing now wants to protect you from these horrible people that are trying to kill him.
Oh
And
no.
with the warg's final last look at you, he turns around at Boulder and attempts to bite you. Boulder, 24. These wargs are epic.
Oh, shit.
They're insane.
Dude,
They are so
we
good.
need to old yeller this bitch.
And that's enough to put you down again, right, Boulder?
Take him out back.
24 damage.
Yeah,
24 damage.
24.
Damage?
No. 12 is the
Oh.
damage.
Yeah, you said 24, and so I, was
More
like,
damage.
I super
You're wrong,
died.
Dead, right?
No. You wouldn't have super died.
That's enough to put me down. Yeah, that's enough.
Wow.
It just turns on Boulder as Boulder draws his sword out, and then suddenly this thing bites into him again. Another few puncture wounds from this thing's teeth as it wrenches him to the ground, trying to
I'll make
save
better choices in pets next time.
Savari.
Sorry.
Gideon.
Seeing it do that to Boulder, can I use my bonus action and movement to like shoulder check it with the intent of knocking it over, or is that a full action?
Yeah, you can try and push it over. Give me an athletics check.
Straight up
Tiny
athletics?
Yeah, you only have to beat a 10.
Okay. All right.
Thing's wounded.
Right.
Of course. All right. No, it's cool. It's all
Are you
right.
kidding me, Jay?
It's
serious
cool.
right now?
I'm sorry. I'm not the Superman of the group.
No, you're not.
The
Gideon
Superman's
comes
dead on the
running
floor.
in. Gideon comes running in, this tiny little gnome, and just goes, boing! Up this thing's side. It barely notices that he's even there. Even with all of his wounds and stuff like that, this tiny little gnome is unable to
Do I
be over.
still get to attack, or are you gonna make that my full action?
No, that was definitely your full action.
Wait, I asked bonus action, but I'll take it as my full action.
Oh, did you really ask?
I did
bonus
ask
action?
if it was my
Yeah,
bonus
you
action.
did.
That's okay.
Oh, okay, no, then go for it.
All right, I'm going in. I'm going in with the anchor.
Sort of a grapple, a super grapple.
It's cool,
doesn't
man.
matter.
I don't want to play this game anymore. I'm going back to DMing.
Gideon hefts up his anchor and then forgets how to attack. Gamil,
All right, I'm using the Great Axe. I'm going all on it.
go for it. That's a hit. Give me the damage.
Oh.
14 slashing damage. How would you like to kill him?
Yes! On the back of his head. Just clean through. Hopefully I don't hit Boulder. though.
It's like that moment when the fucking mountain or whatever cuts a horse's head off, and it just this giant warg's head is just cleaved off. There's just a gush of blood as it just fountains onto the ground, pours over Boulder's legs, and you have killed the second warg. However, it's not necessarily over right now. Savari, is there anything you can do here to try and save Boulder?
You mean besides crying over my sweet son,
Hmm.
which is murdered in front of me? I don't have any healing spells. So I don't really know what I can do to help him here.
There's not really. You can, if you're proficient in like medicine, you can give it a go to try and stabilize him. But if you really screw it up, you'll give him a failure on his death save.
Okay. I mean, I don't have any points in medicine, so I can try.
You can do this. If I
You can
can
if
hit a
you
wolf
want,
with an anchor, you can do this.
You don't have to do it.
Boulder, would you like me to run over and try to patch you up?
I'm on the ground. I can't say anything to you.
Boulder's KO right now.
Oh,
This is
well,
down to you.
then I guess, I mean, guys, I want to look to both of my short men with me. Should I go patch him up? Is that something I should do?
If it's a brisk,
If you don't do it, I will.
I mean, do you know medicine better than me?
Yes.
Then you should do that.
All right, Boulder, give me a death saving throw. You can literally click it on your character sheet.
I actually don't know where it is.
It's
in the middle,
Like right in the middle.
Directly like the center, you can click on the
under your
word.
hit points.
I do want to move closer to them, though. Can I do that really quick?
Oh, there it is. All right.
Yeah. A 10. So it's all right. He's not dead yet.
Yay.
Gideon, you gonna pull anything? Anything crazy?
Yeah, I'm gonna run up and try and shoulder check him. No. If I use a medicine check, will it give him? Because he'll only come back with 1 health. Can I give him more health with a better medicine check, or
No, you can only
temporary hit
stabilize.
points?
All you can do is stabilize him with a medicine check.
Okay.
Gideon,
Um.
I have the ult inspiration thing.
What?
Is it 10 a success on a death saving throw, or is it a failure?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. no,
I think so.
okay. I'm gonna use lay on hands on him. I'm just gonna walk over, just as he's getting up and like opens his eyes, and just kind of put my hand on his chest and just close my eyes and not say anything, but my hands start to glow with like white light and go into him and heal him for how much is it? I think it's 1 health.
You can
Like,
give
really
him.
epic for 1 health.
I'm not even kidding you. I think it's 1 health.
No. I think no. You should have 5, and you can give him as many of those 5.
Yeah, paladin level times 5. Okay, I'm gonna give him all 5.
Okay. So, how does that look, little Gideon?
Just putting my hand on his chest, and it's, white glowing light from my fingers, and just kind of spreading out across his chest to like tendrils to his wounds.
And they begin to heal. They don't heal fully, but they heal enough to stop him from drawing in these raspy breaths. You see that the blood stops to just flow out of the puncture wounds in his body. They somewhat heal over enough for Boulder to draw breath and regain consciousness. You open your eyes, Boulder, and there's a small little gnome who you feel now slightly more. There's a kinship now because you are part of each other. This healing magic has brought you back from the brink. And there are 2 dead wargs and lots of blood over your legs as you look around the party here in the middle of the night in this abandoned town of Nightstone. And I think that's